I don't take nothing personal either. So
Yeah. All right. Welcome back, everybody. We're live now. We got MTK back. You see the title. I just got my man's or
they got
not.
me,
He's
dog.
back.
They
He's
got me,
back.
bro. I went to that Dodgers game, bro. And fucking,
Yeah.
they were to lose.
No, but you were on like some type of work trip, right?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Yeah. So welcome back, MTK.
Thank you.
We
Saw
had
Saturday held it down.
yeah. Did you? So you told me you watched it. How'd you like
No,
his
I
appearance
mean,
on the show?
I mean, I'm already a big fan of Saturday. Like I told him, like, call me I am Sunday, because I lose every bet too. I lose every bet, bro.
Yeah. I know it's tough out there.
Yeah, it is tough out there. So yeah, he's Saturday, I'm Sunday.
He's Saturday, you're Sunday. What'd
Yeah.
you think about his story, bro? Did I reveal anything to you, or did you know that shit? Cause
Well, he's done a couple shows with me, so like I kind of knew some of his backstory, you know.
okay,
Yeah, so I knew some of his backstory. Then when him and I kind of talked some business stuff too, because he's like into him and some other business partners bought a building for rent.
oh,
Yeah, yeah. Dude's doing some good things. So yeah.
bought a building for rent, so they rent out like office space or something.
I think it's like a duplex or something like that.
Okay, got you.
And I think they just closed on it, so they're like getting it ready to rent out to like, like if you and me wanted to rent a apartment complex. An
Okay,
apartment. Yeah.
how'd you guys even get on that? He just kind of brought it up to you randomly.
I forgot how we started talking about that. I think we just started talking about work stuff,
Hmm.
and then like he was telling me about this building, and I was similar to what I do on kind of my day job too. Then we just kind of started bullshitting, talking about it.
Okay. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was telling me now he does something where because he recovered, from being paralyzed. He's still paralyzed, but he can live a normal daily life by himself, I guess. So
Yeah.
he does something in that field where it's like some type of like,
In medical.
yeah, medical, like I think he
Yeah.
said something like rehabilitation strategies or something like that with like military veterans because a lot of them come out
Okay.
like beat up and busted.
Yeah. No,
Something like
dude's
that. Some
super
types of
smart.
plans.
Yeah, dude's super smart.
Smart, hardworking, regimented. So yeah. I
Got
wanted to have him on
got some
today.
personality.
Yeah,
Everything
definitely.
you like. He has everything you kind of like. You know what I mean?
Exactly. He gets the
He marks a
game.
lot of boxes.
He checks boxes, and I
And
noticed too. Go ahead.
smart. He knows fights. Like he's his fight IQ of like past fights is really like top tier.
No, yeah, he puts a lot into it, and so I was
Yeah.
definitely like, you know what, bro, this guy's got a lot of boxes checked. He ain't getting the numbers I think he should probably be getting. Let's try to get him on here too, and maybe like help him out a little bit. He helps us out a little bit. I
Yeah.
wanted him on the show today for a 3-man because I've been talking about that.
Yeah, yeah.
He was busy today, so we're gonna do it next week.
Okay.
So we'll try a 3-man next week. See how
Hey,
that goes.
eventually you're gonna have like the homies in the back. Like you can have a bunch of homies in the back, like on the thing too, like calling them up with a new screen. Pretty soon you're gonna be like, having this screen, that screen.
That's what we're going for. Maybe we got to have like some producer in the back or something like that to take
Exactly.
it up from me doing it.
Well, and any research you need looked up, like,
Definitely.
hey, get on it. And then you can start yelling at people. And then that's gonna be real funny.
Yeah.
Hey, where
Big
am I-
boss man.
Yeah, yeah. You put like a time clock, a shot timer on. Like, dude, where are we at? Like, I asked for this fucking 5 minutes ago.
All my editors and shit like that. We're
Yeah,
getting there. We're getting there slowly but surely. The numbers are going up. Bro, I've been streaming every day since like
yeah, I
fucking
see that.
I think the 7th of this month. So, yeah, I think definitely like within the next couple months numbers are going to be going up even more.
Yeah, yeah. You're building your squad.
Definitely. And then
Yeah.
they're also kind of like, they're recognizing you, they're recognizing Saturday. So
Hmm.
we're building for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
You got to get that the one homie too, SD Dogs that I told you about over in Houston. You could have a
okay.
Midwest guy. You could have an East Coast guy. We already got the West Coast covered.
Send me some of his clips. I'll check him
I
out.
will. I
Yeah,
will.
see if we can vibe with him. But okay, so now we chopped it up a little bit. Let's go into this whole Tom Aspinall saga.
I will.
Why
Yeah,
waste
that's
time?
crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
So, how do we want to where do we start with this? Do we just start from the
I
very
was just,
beginning? The eye
oh,
poke?
I was just gonna tell you this. I just rewatched it because the narrative is Ciryl Gane was whooping his ass.
That's the narrative, and that he was looking for a way out.
Yeah, and so like I just rewatched it, right? And I was listening to what Brandon Schaub has, and I said this in the beginning too. Just bad luck, honestly, bro. There was 30 seconds left in that round.
Hmm.
That's bad luck.
No, yeah, it is. To
Like
some
30
degree.
sec, Bro, 30 seconds in the round? Like, fuck.
And you said we were saying that about Dumas. That's what you just said.
Well, I'm just saying in general, just like, like all you had was 30 seconds to get into that second round.
Yeah.
He could have him and Ciryl Gane could have been like posturing in the corner grappling, and 30 seconds would have been by and would have been 10 seconds and it would have been going. It just really bad luck, bro. And rewatching it, and I think the stats were like 30 versus 35 strikes.
Okay, so it was pretty close in strikes, you're saying?
Right. And I like to watch it with no
Commentary.
Yes. Because you kind of get a different feel for what happened. And I saw Ciryl Gane had like 4 or 5 clean jabs out of those 30 punches. Tom had a really good head kick. His box, he had some good leg kicks. Like he was in and out. He was making Ciryl Gane circle around. He was going after him and making Ciryl Gane have to react to him. But I mean, the eye pokes. I mean, and that begs the bigger question too. We talked about this in the past. The gloves.
Yeah, to me, okay, so it seems like you're not putting any onus on Ciryl Gane. You're saying it's bad luck, it's the gloves.
Like onus in what aspect? Like he did a great job.
No, like Ciryl Gane should fucking have some control of his weapons. Like when you talk about bad luck, it's like
Yeah, I agree with that too. I 100% agree with that. Like there has to, because I was looking at that too. His hands were open a lot.
right.
They were open a
On
lot.
the first takedown attempt, there's a viral screenshot now, right? The first takedown attempt, hands all up in his face from the get-go, 2 minutes in.
Yeah, yeah, no, but it goes back to there's no consequences, really, right?
There's no consequences, yeah.
B, I was thinking about other champions who have been on really good runs. Like, why did they never get eye poked? Luck, you got to put luck into that category. If we were to create an algorithm, of why champions go on a run, you got to have some luck. This dude got bad luck, bro. Like,
Yeah, I think luck can definitely play a factor into it, but it seems like what I would say to that is it seems like the same guys are doing it. Ciryl Gane even poked John Jones when they fought. Ciryl Gane got a compilation going around right now of him hitting Tai Tuivasa in the back of the head before knocking him out. So it's like a history of fouling your opponents.
And I think you had said this on one of the previous podcasts. Like, hey, is there like almost like a committee where like, how many times have you done this before? Like, what are your stats in that area?
Yeah, which I think nobody's been able to find, but it's funny because the UFC has a stat for everything, don't they? We got the first fucking Cameroonian fighter in history. We got the most significant strikes in history, but they're not tallying up on the eye pokes, I guess.
And there's not, like you said before, like there's a lot. It's almost like there's a lot more behind the scenes that the UFC still needs to clean up, because like you had mentioned before, like you need that ref outside the ref.
Right.
Where is that committee, that dude fucking on the sideline making the final call? Like, no, we just watched this. This is where we're at. Because we have one ref doing this and we have another ref doing that. And then it's like, bro, there's every decision's made different.
Yeah, like we need officials in the booth, right, to review the camera footage and then send that message in to the referee doing his job in the octagon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the fact that they don't do that and then they want to act like, oh, yeah, we're the NBA, we're the NFL, that's what we're going for, uniforms and all this stuff, right? It's like, dude, get your shit together. Get your shit together. The fact that we don't even have, not even that, on an even more simple basis, we don't even have anything for fouls or penalties. There's no clear-cut rule for fouls or penalties.
Right. It's still the wild, wild west when you do, actually, you're at a point as an organization, as the top-tier organization, where we need something more cut and dry now.
On several levels at this point. And it's crazy
levels.
that we don't say this. Where is instant replay? It's 2020 fucking 5, bro.
Yeah.
How the fuck is there no instant replay determining these things? To kind of go into something else, but we're going to stay on the topic. Just stick with me why I'm bringing this up.
Yeah.
Jake Matthews, I don't know if you saw it, but Jake Matthews got overturned, or his appeal didn't get overturned.
Right, got denied.
The fact that he's even still trying to appeal it after the fact is retarded. It should have been a fucking cemented decision in the octagon. It should have been instant replay. Referee says Neil Magny was out. Neil Magny says he wasn't out. Let's go to the official in the booth. Instant replay. Oh, Neil wasn't out. The referee made a mistake. The fight continues. All right. Then Jake Matthews doesn't have to go through this whole appeal and then losing an appeal after the fight because it was a certain fucking decision. And then on the opposite end of that, Kyle Nelson and Matt Frevola, if they would have used instant replay, they would have been like, there's 3 seconds left. Frevola's severely damaged. You robbed him of a knockout. We're going to chalk that up as a finish. You know what I mean? So it can go both ways. Yeah. But at the end of the day, there needs to be there needs to be an instant replay. The fact that there is not that is crazy to me. Because what's going to happen? Kyle Nelson going to go appeal his fucking decision now and ask for a knockout or something?
Right.
Like, they should decide this stuff inside the octagon. We shouldn't leave fights with more uncertainty.
And we're talking about $1 billion. They just got what? How much was the $1 billion Paramount deal?
6 or 8, right?
Right. We're at a point.
4? I don't know.
Yeah, you're not fucking Bellator. You're not, you're not these fucking, like, we're at a point where you need all of what you just said.
So why not? Why not? We got let me present something to you, okay? But go wherever you want once I present this to you. We got the NBA being investigated, right? For ties to the mafia, ties to gambling, whatever you want to call it, right? Game fixing, right? Because of gambling. We got Dan Miragliotta stopping a fight with 3 seconds left on the clock. Okay, this guy, how convenient. He got a hearing problem. That's his thing. I got a hearing problem. So he can keep doing this. He could keep doing this as long as they're going to let him get away with reffing fights because he got a hearing problem. People, the reason why I'm saying that now is because people, the announcers, Bispings and the DCs, are saying this isn't the first time Miragliotta stopped a fight with seconds left on the clock. Before I even found that out, that night where he robbed Kyle Nelson of a knockout, I said, investigate this dude. What the fuck does he have? The over or something? The fuck is going on here? He completely just got in the way of this knockout. Now, I don't know what previous fights they're talking about where he stopped it with seconds left on the clock. But the fact that Bisping is saying he did that, I believe him. And then because even the fact Bisping was telling this story of like when he did it versus Kyle Nelson, he made eye contact with the announcer, the broadcast team, and he mouthed like how many seconds were left. And then they were like 3. And then he's like, because amongst them, it's common knowledge that this dude can't fucking hear shit. So if you can't hear shit, get the fuck out of the fucking octagon, dude. Because otherwise, I think you're fight fixing. And I said this before I even found out he got a hearing problem. And do I believe he got a hearing problem? I don't give a fuck if he has a hearing problem. How about that? Shove it up your fucking ass, dude. We don't care about that. These guys are risking their life. We don't give a fuck about your hearing problem. Or you're trying to make an excuse because you're involved in some type of gambling shit. Like I said, I thought this dude had a fucking bet on the over. How the fuck do you stop a guy from knocking a dude out with 3 seconds left unless you don't have a bet on the over?
Yeah, that was a crazy. That's a great example because that was very recent, and I remember seeing that 3 seconds left on the clock. Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could have finished. You would have finished him.
Right.
It would have been done. It would have been over. And then if you add the layer, like you said, like you can't hear. Like I mean, there has to be a point where it's like, okay, we'll just not out of disrespect. Like, hey, you know, we need reps in here that can hear.
Yeah, with all due respect,
there's too much on the line. There's too much on the line.
Right, and it is with all due respect, but I'm even pissed off that he's not. And I get it. You want to make money. You like this job or whatever. You're gonna keep going in and doing it. But that's a selfish decision, bro.
It is a selfish decision
because you're fucking over guys just because you want to keep stepping in the octagon and reffing.
Yeah, but I guess too, it'd be like almost like any other. UFC is at a point where they're getting compared to every other organization, NBA, NFL, MLB. Like you have those leagues dialed in when it comes to like the replay views. You know what I mean? Like every aspect when it comes to like, oh, headquarters in New York, NFL office is looking at this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because there's all billions of dollars on the line. And the UFC doesn't have an excuse anymore about like money.
No, because they got money.
Yeah, and so the questions we're asking is to make the organization top tier,
And you got
right?
Dana fucking promoting Power Slap and all this other bullshit, and it's finally starting to catch up. Some of the bitching, you know what I mean? This is what we're talking about. I would like a guy invested, being like, you know what? Let's get some legislature involved. You're over here trying to amend the fucking Muhammad Ali Act. You know what I mean? The legislature there. Why don't we get some fucking legislature in the UFC at a bare minimum, install instant replay, and get rid of the whole intentional, unintentional bullshit and make it all intentional? Here's an example based off what you were just saying too. The NBA, they all have these things dialed, right? To the point where you can even flop. You can even
Yeah.
flop. And whose fault is it when they flop? Can you tell me? Is it the person who flopped, or is it the fucking person who even got close to fouling?
Well, I mean, there's both ends, right?
But who gets
Both,
the free throws ultimately? Who ultimately gets the free throws in that situation?
the player, the offensive player.
The person who flops, right? The offensive player. So please, dude, like, but then the UFC is gonna say, well, that's a perfect example of why they don't want to do it, because this is show business and it's gonna incorporate some of this stuff. Now, I don't fully have an answer for that, but what do you know what I mean?
I mean, there. Okay, so there has to be something like one, you have that outside rep to make a decision, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's say there's like a flop, as you could say. Okay, let's take a quick look at it because I wish they did that in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
The NBA should do that. We're like, hey, this guy multiple time is a line stepper and always knows what he's doing and flopping, pushing his body in, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Of using the system.
Mm-hmm.
What you're saying is using the system
Mm-hmm.
to your advantage. And the other thing too is like you get, it's almost like in the NFL, I think they get two challenge flags.
Right.
Like one challenge flag of a fight.
A
Like you can't,
challenge. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Challenge flag. Okay.
yeah, like your coach.
Right.
You know what I mean? Something like that. Let's say it was a 3 second thing, right? This 3 second rule. The coach that was the opponent, that the person that was basically didn't get the benefit of the doubt has the opportunity to say, I want that reviewed. And
Mm-hmm.
but you get one. We can't be having like, you know what I mean? Like 10 reviews.
Right. But then the issue, I guess, is like it would come into the situation we find ourselves in now, where the refs would ultimately be debating the fighter's intent about whether or not he intentionally flopped, whether or not it was a real penalty, right? Because if you think about it, if you go mandatory nut shot is an automatic foul, then does that mean guys are going to be flopping left and right for nut shots? I don't know. But I'm just presenting
Yeah.
this. We probably don't have an answer. But I'd
Well,
almost
I guess,
rather err on the side of safety than not. If that's the other option, right? Err on the side of safety. Err on the side of the person who's getting fucking illegally fouled. Then okay, I'd rather deal with the repercussions that come with that than deal with what we've been dealing with now, which it seems to be the opposite of this, which is like all the manipulation of the rules gets to go on the fouler, because the fouler gets to manipulate and say, oh, they'll always chalk it up as unintentional, and the first eye poke I give is a warning. So like the fouler right now is basically doing the equivalent to flopping by playing stupid, right? Or just exploiting the fact that they can get away with one penalty. You can just get away with one. So why not do it? John Jones on camera admitting to it, saying, I do that shit. I do that shit. Yeah, that shit you're talking about. I do that shit.
you don't give a
Derek
fuck.
Lewis. I do that shit. I do that shit. And here we are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would say this, like, but at this point though, there's not even like, hey, you get one as a warning and then the second one is automatic. We don't
Because
even have that.
I
We
mean,
don't even
yeah.
have that. Like, we at least got to start there though.
Some type of just uniform, right? Just a
Right.
uniform
But just
something.
like moving forward, 2026 Paramount, you're gonna get an eye warning on your eye on the eye poke, and that could be like reviewed. Like, hey, that could even be unreviewed, but automatically second, regardless, it's either a DQ or it's a point. If you started giving out DQs, the whole system would change.
I mean, I was thinking about something. I don't know if it's too extreme, but I'm almost of the fucking idea at this point. First one is a point deduction. Second one is a DQ. Get the fucking hands out of the guy's face. Figure
I
it the
mean,
fuck out.
it's interesting because like live when Ciryl Gane, when that fight happened, I was like, oh, you can't like I was just thinking like, what if they said this was a DQ?
I
was
think
like,
I would have
oh.
rather have been that.
See, and so like I was on the ladder. I was like, man, I don't want to see him disqualified for a mistake, but when you start adding in all the other instances, so let's say you go into a fight and it's like he's already had four eye pokes going into this fight. It's on record. You walked in here with four eye pokes in previous fights. You're going like your spider senses or your like alert senses for this guy is hyper aware.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have as a ref, you have the ability to say this either the warning or be a DQ on your first one, just
Mm-hmm.
so you know starting the fight. Imagine the fighter's awareness going into like, okay, hold up,
Well, yeah,
like his
because
whole attitude would change.
and it's like to that point too. At what point, right? Because even you said bad luck, right? And I can. Here's where I'm at with that. I can respect bad luck if it was anybody but Ciryl Gane poking the fucking eye. If Tom Aspinall, right? If Tom Aspinall poked Ciryl Gane's eye and the exact opposite happened, I would be more inclined to be like, yeah, it's bad luck. But at what point do we start to accuse this man, Ciryl Gane, of intentionally fouling guys and playing
Yeah.
coy? At what
I mean,
point?
there's a lot of value to that. I have to admit, like
Should it be the
coming in,
fifth? Should it be the sixth? Maybe the
yeah,
seventh?
yeah. I mean, there
Does
has to
Tom
be
have to go blind? What? I just want to know what has to happen for us to confidently say, essentially, right? I'm entertaining here,
well, and
but fuck this guy.
here's a good example in the NFL. In the NFL, if you get caught, I forgot what hit it is, but it's like helmet
Spearing
to,
or headshots.
it's a helmet to helmet, right? I know it's a fine. It could be a suspension. Do it again. See what happens.
So you're
I
saying
believe that's an automatic 3-game suspension.
so you're saying no more fights for like a 12-month period, 18-month suspension on the lines of fucking what happened to Nick Diaz when he got popped for marijuana.
I
Nick
would
Diaz
say
got
this.
popped for marijuana, got an 18-month suspension, $500,000 fine. You think that should happen with illegal penalties when you got a history like Ciryl Gane?
I mean,
Because what do I always say about MMA?
no.
What do I always
I'm
say
not
about
gonna say
MMA?
no.
It's Groundhog's Day every fucking day with these guys. It's a new fucking day. We forget history every fucking morning in the MMA world. Just like you're saying, because Ciryl Gane steps in the octagon, right, and it's Groundhog's Day. His past does not follow him, right? But
It's
I
zero
agree
fear.
with what you're saying. I completely agree. At what point, right? Because nothing ever happens, right? But it's like when you pop for weed the first time, back in the day with Nick Diaz, he pops the first time, he gets a little penalty. Then the second time it's steeper. Then the third time it's steeper. Well, here you're fucking with the guy's future. Like, think about this. If Tom Aspinall, I mean, he's claiming he's hurt. We're going to get into whether or not they're milking it or not. But really, that shit's irrelevant because Ciryl Gane, if he's such a pussy, if he's such a bitch, then don't poke him in the eye. Use your brain, bro. But here's what I wanted to say. I just lost my fucking thought.
About Tom or about Ciryl?
I was gonna say, I think I've already forgot it, but basically on the lines of the whole Nick Diaz thing, right? And Nick Diaz getting penalized, more and more for every time he got caught for marijuana.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then Ciryl Gane hasn't even received one penalty for eye pokes. To me, that's like, what the fuck are we doing here?
And here's another good example. And I'm using other organizations because they don't even have it dialed in, but they have some of it dialed in. Taunting and flagrant fouls in the NBA. Draymond Green. He is a habitual getting taunting, getting flagrant fouls, getting into altercations, getting suspended because of because he keeps doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so like you'll see one where like he fell down with another guy, and then it's like, oh, I'm a flagrant. It's like, yeah, bro, but we have 6 other cases of you doing the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, this time it looks bad again.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. You go into that ring, it's almost like 0 times 0. Nothing's remembered of what past faults they've had.
I think it's called whitewashed. You know what I mean? History's just completely
Right.
been whitewashed. It's just gone.
Right. And there's no real track record of it. No, this is an interesting conversation because the UFC has still areas in their organizations that they need to clean up. If you're
100%.
a billion-dollar company and you're trying to compete with the NBA, college football, NFL, I mean, you're looking like you're a junior league.
Mm-hmm. So there's a lot to that. I think we might have covered all the bases. If something else comes back to me, I will present it.
Anybody in the chat?
Yeah, we got
Any
some people in the chat. Before we talk about the other topic, as far as this Tom milking it and shit, let's see what some of the boys say. So, what up, Tyler Betts? What up, Scott? I'll just read off the names.
What's up,
yeah, I'll read off the names as I read their chat. So, Skylar and or Tyler and Scott, I just combined their names. Say what up, boys. So, what up, boys? Good to see you guys in the chat.
Let us know your area code.
Yeah, drop your city in the chat, boys. MTK keeping track. Mark Hatch says the doctors were even laughing at Tom's acting and said it's not anything serious. Now that is also true.
You did kind of laugh.
That is also true. He rolled his eyes a little bit.
He didn't look too worried, bro. He didn't look too worried.
He hit him with that side eye real quick. Scott goes, first foul should be an automatic point. Second foul is another point. Third foul is automatic DQ. Like, it gets to a point, right? It gets to a fucking point.
But this is the thing. I've seen fights, bro, 3 or 4 eye pokes in one fight, and everybody's like, "Bro, what the fuck is going on?"
Well, even Mike Malott with the two nut shots to Kevin Holland, doctors coming in the cage and still no point taken, and then Drew Dober does it one time to his opponent, right? And then it's an instant point.
Yeah, there's no like.
It's a joke. I swear to God. Just look at it from an outside perspective, real quick. How can you not just? You cannot ignore the fact that there could be fight fixing going on with what I'm explaining to you right now. What other way can you explain it?
I mean, that's not too far off. I won't say that it's not too far off. It's not improbable.
It's not improbable, and I'm not saying that's a fact, but I'm saying you're leaving holes in your fucking system, okay? So if that's a hole that causes a question like that, I'm allowed to ask a question like that. If you're going to keep these holes of uncertainty in your system, I'm more than in my right to ask a question like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Did people have money on Drew Dober's opponent? Did the Mafia have money on that dude? Because you took a point from Drew Dober immediately. Or how about, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no consistency.
There is no, that's the word, consistency. There is zero consistency in this. And that's the most alarming thing about all this. No consistency.
No consistency. And then where does the consistency lie? To where the majority of the money is in the sports books?
Yeah.
Like dead ass.
And I think too that the Nick Diaz thing, you know, how are we going to penalize fighters more for smoking weed than we are for them for like actual harm in the cage?
This is what I was going to say. Thank you for saying that. So when I said I forgot my point, this is what I was going to. Exactly like you said it. You're doing this to a guy who smokes fucking weed. And nothing's happening to the guy who's literally poking dudes in the fucking eye. If Tom Aspinall would have continued in that fight, this is what I was going to say. Regardless, if he's actually injured, because he's saying he's injured. So I have to believe that, right? Now, he's saying he's injured. He just has to go subject himself to getting hit 10 more times in that eye. And what happens if he gets knocked out and then his fucking retina detaches like Michael Bisping and he goes blind? Because he couldn't see a kick coming off of something that should have never happened in the first place, something that was illegal, something that should have been immediately penalized, you know? And so you're not going to do anything to this guy who's actually fucking with people's lives. Like Tom Aspinall got an autistic...
Yeah, your livelihood. Yeah.
Tom has an autistic son. Tom needs to be able to be there for his kid more than the average parent, bro. And that's not, you know, we don't have to do that for everybody and go on their stories, but it's just to say that, like, you know, certain people need to be there for their family more than others. That's just a simple way of life. You know, you ever heard of cerebral palsy? Where people can't even, like, their spine function doesn't work, so they literally are, like, boring vegetables and they have to be taken care of 24/7? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just heard of another fighter whose son passed away at, like, 9 months old because he had this condition where he had blisters all over his body, and just picking him up to take a bath, he said would take him 2 hours. He said touching his son's skin would rip his skin off, and his son passed away at 9 months old because of that disease that he was born with. You know, people have issues outside of the octagon, and you're already risking your life, but it's a part of the job. You're risking your life as a part of the fucking job. You signed up for it. You know what I mean? You don't gotta go in there and fucking keep fighting because Ciryl Gane can't keep his gosh dang fingers to his damn self.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then just to round about that point, that's the guy, right, who hasn't got any penalties, who hasn't gotten any suspensions for any lengthy period of time. And then meanwhile, Nick Diaz got his whole career rotted because he tested positive for fucking smoking kush after fighting Anderson Silva.
Right.
And they chalked that up as a performance enhancing drug.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
how
crazy.
about a fucking finger poke is a, fight enhancing move?
Yeah, yeah.
That
And then,
directly sways the rest of the fight, especially in the first round. This guy ain't slick at all. Poking the dude's eye in the first minute and a half. You're not slick, bro. I said, at what point does it get to? I'm at the point. I'm at the point.
yeah, yeah. And I think too, like when seeing the narrative, like about the narrative was kind of man up, right?
Man
Man,
up. You were
man up,
losing.
yeah, man up. Just dog it out.
I
And
saw a comment. Let me just, because it's on your narrative. All the fans who paid $79 got their money wasted.
yeah,
I mean, dude, so fuck your $80, bro.
yeah. I mean, and that's gonna be like, right? I mean,
Like, he should have kept fighting because you spent $80. That's what they're saying.
but casual MMA, bro. Like, I mean, bro, that's probably like the if we could go, there was a lot of good funny narratives out there.
They're good.
Oh,
They're good.
I saw one of the memes, bro. Van Damme when he got the smoke in his eyes,
Yeah.
and he goes, everybody expected Tom Aspinall to be the Van Damme character. It looks like you're right.
It's like, dude,
I
you
was
guys are
that's a
crazy.
that's a funny meme. I was like, that was a good one, bro. That's what everybody expected. They wanted Tom to go out there, fucking fight blind and shit.
Just like, because they paid $80. Superman Tom
Exactly.
Aspinall.
Yeah. But I was gonna say like the narrative, like, hey, of man up, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are fighters. I've seen them. We've seen them, bro. Like Orabai, when he had that one eye, he was still out there fighting.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. You know what I mean? So don't get me wrong. There are been stories, but at the same time, Tom Aspinall is at a position where, like, I told some of this the other day. I was like, "Have you ever been eye poked?" Like, it was a month ago. I was with my nephew, and he's just accidentally, bro, just like playing with me. He poked my eye. I swear to God, bro, I was down. You know what I mean? Like, but it was like I was able to, after like I think 20 minutes, I was like, just kind of like it was just bugging me,
100%.
I didn't have to go to the hospital. I didn't go to the emergency room. But if I was in a fight,
And
I
they
would have
said
been,
that shit got to be better in 5 minutes.
yeah, I would have had to tap.
Yeah.
I would have, you know what I mean? Oh, he would have stopped me. The guy would have got me. You know what I mean? Because like literally that whole time, I remember, and I couldn't get mad at my nephew. You know what I mean? He don't know no better. He's 3 years old.
Yeah.
You don't know any better. He just thought he was just playing and stuff. And so, I remember I'm like trying to rinse it off. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to like put water in it. I'm trying to like blink and like blink it out. And I just kept like, and then I'm in my own mind. I was like, man, I'd like, okay, just hold your eye, decompress it. I think it was like 10 minutes into it. I was like, all right, I can kind of blink again. I'm not gonna lose my eye,
Yeah.
because you're like first you're nervous.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just so funny. Like it just happened to me like a month ago. I was like, oh, I can kind of
He
relate.
poked it with his finger accidentally or something?
Yeah, exactly.
Dang.
And it was such a micro level though. Think about it. I'm playing with my nephew.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not in a fight. Don't have to go to work tomorrow. I'm thinking, am I going to have to go to the emergency room? None of that happened. I was able to drive back home.
It wasn't 265-pound Ciryl Gane poking you mid-fight?
Right.
Okay.
Both of my eyes scrape, like
And you said
so
you were out for how many minutes? About 10 minutes?
I was like a solid 10 minutes. Cause the first 5 minutes I'm trying to wash, put water on it.
Yeah.
Second 5 minutes, I put like a rag on it just because I was like, all right. And I kept on kind of going like that. My nephew just out playing. He already forgot about it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And but then like after like 10 minutes, I was like, all right, I can open it. Like that was like, all right, I can open it. I don't need to go to the emergency room.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay. But it took about 10 minutes.
Right. And so, I mean, even that, it's like, if that gets illegally done to you in the middle of a fight, I mean, forget all the other narratives, bro. Right? That just happened to you in the middle of a fight. Because people are going to say, here's what I'm getting to. People are going to say, and I've a little bit on this, but let me put it like this, right? There's this narrative right now that if Tom has no injury, right? Because they're saying cosmetically it looks fine. I've said that to the chat. The chat tried to inform me. They said it's a laceration in the eye, which you can't see to the naked eye, right? You got to have that microscope to like see that shit.
Right.
But if it even doesn't have that, right? People are gonna kind of be like, "Ah, he's a puss. I told you there was no injury. He could have continued." But for
Right.
you, right, in a way, you're saying, my nephew, just to equate it to an average person,
Yeah.
right? It's like my nephew poked me. I was out for about 10 minutes. My eye turned out to be totally fine, right? It turned out to be totally fine, but I was out for about 10 minutes. Now, like I said, you only got 5 minutes to recover if you're Tom Aspinall in the middle of a fist fight, right? So, in my opinion, it's like, yeah, even if there's nothing wrong with the eye, based off the example you just told me, I'm not going to kill the man if there's no injury and he's still wanted out of the fight.
Yeah.
Because, again, Ciryl Gane should have never poked him.
And I think too that the whole, like I told you, the narrative that like Ciryl Gane was whooping his ass. Like I went back and I just watched it. Like he jabbed him. Yeah, he bloodied him. Yeah, he made Tom look like he was human now.
Mm-hmm.
He was able to get him out of the first round. I loved all those things, but he wasn't whooping his ass though.
No, the fight was heating up, right? It was heating up. It wasn't like he was beating his ass. In fact, like you said, he was skirting around and Tom was trying to find his range. I want to see the rematch. I don't think, because it's flopped now. People were saying Ciryl Gane this is the fans though, dude. What can you do? Yeah. Ciryl Gane, right, was gonna get washed by Tom Aspinall, knocked out in the first round. Tom's earned that credit because he's got the touch of death on everyone. Like I've been saying about Tom, I keep almost saying it wrong because I'll start off by being like, he hasn't been tested. But it's like, no, he hasn't. But it's like, he's fought tough guys. Just those tough guys haven't even been able to test him. So people think when you say he hasn't been tested, like he hasn't fought tough guys. It's like, yeah, he has fought tough guys, but those guys haven't tested him. Finally, Ciryl Gane tested him, right?
So, and that's what was making it interesting. That's why everybody was like, "Oh shit, let's go!"
As soon as Ciryl Gane tests this man, oh, he's getting washed in the rematch. Ciryl Gane's knocking his ass out. When just a second ago, Tom Aspinall's knocking Ciryl Gane's ass out.
Yeah,
crazy work.
Yeah, I think too. Even when Dana came out, Dana, I think, he was frustrated. He wanted to see the full fight. I think if Dana had a chance, he'd walk that back a little bit.
He would walk it back a little bit.
I think so. I mean, he will never say it, but I think that was the wrong.
As the business owner, he's just a bit frustrated because that's his product. Like the other Wednesday when the stream went down, because I don't know if you knew, but that day, our last stream, YouTube crashed. Like YouTube crashed.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But this is my production, right? This is my show. So when my show crashed on Wednesday, which I promised to people, I was like, deep down, I'm like freaking frustrated about that. You know what I mean? So maybe Dana, I could understand that.
Yeah.
It's his show. It's his product.
Especially in the Middle East, right?
That co-main event wasn't good. What'd you say?
In the Middle East. Oh, you like the co-main?
Well, it's just like, that's what everybody gets left with. Dana's probably like, great. This is fantastic.
Hey, the homies in the chat, I don't know if you know yet, but Jacob loves the women fights. Like, he fucking wakes up. Like,
no, they know in the chat. I always tell them. And we got Gina in the chat. What up, Gina? We got our lady in the chat. No, whenever there's like fights on though, if there's like the women's fight to start it off, if it's not a good one, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna start like as soon as, like I'll start the stream after this fight.
Yeah.
I always start it after.
Can you hear that?
Huh?
Can you hear that?
No.
Okay, perfect. Never mind.
Chilling.
Yeah, there's someone using
Should I read some chats right now or what?
You can.
What were you on? Did we just end our topic or like what'd you say a second ago?
I was just saying, Dana, Middle East. He was frustrated. I was listening to what Brendan Schaub said too. Brendan had said something, basically on the aspect like, hey, there was a little ring rust there, but I guess I don't know. When I went back and I rewatched it, I was like, there might have been a little bit of ring rust. I just think everybody expected Tom was gonna knock him out like he did the first round. This is the first time someone was about to bring him into the second round. And I think for the fans, that's what would have been exciting in my eyes when we say bad luck. The bad luck just as a whole, like 30 seconds left in the first round. We didn't get to see we didn't get to see what could have transpired. Maybe Ciryl Gane brings him into the third, fourth round. We get to actually answer a lot of those questions. Maybe bloody Tom up even a little bit more. Maybe Ciryl Gane gets bloodied up.
Maybe Ciryl Gane starts to wilt to the pressure, right?
Right.
All these questions.
Yeah.
What happens if Tom got a takedown on Ciryl Gane? Then we get to see how does Ciryl Gane get back up and keep fighting. Like, we get to see this stuff. And
Right.
I
And
feel like it would be a good fight if it can go 5 rounds. Like I feel like it could be, still has the makings of being a good fight,
yeah, no, I can't wait for the rematch. I was
a
telling
back
somebody
and forth fight. You know what I mean?
what would be epic. They finally roll out the Paramount Plus,
Hmm.
and they're like Tom Aspinall, Ciryl Gane rematch, Ilya Patty, co-main.
Yeah, except I guess we can get into this a little bit, but we don't have to. But I'll just kind of give you an update. It seems like Patty turned down Gaethje for January. I'm
Really?
reading between the lines, but it seems, or sorry, I keep saying Patty. Ilya turned down Gaethje for
Ilya,
January.
maybe because he wants to fight Patty.
100%. And so he
Yeah.
just basically returned the favor to Gaethje. He's like, Gaethje, you're turning down Armon and Patty. Okay, fine. I'm gonna turn your ass down then.
I'm
So
just saying, like, if they,
we
if
we
because
probably
the
won't get Ilya
Paramount
in
Plus.
January though. That's what I was trying to tell you.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see, right? I mean, if that Paramount Plus card, that'd be a great way to, because it's not going to take him too long to recover.
Hmm. Unfortunately, if the UFC would have offered Ilya Patty for January, I think we would have had that fight announced already.
I see what you're saying. All
Yeah,
right.
I think the UFC caved to Justin. I think the UFC caved after he denied Armon and Patty. They offered Ilya the fight against Justin in January for the first pay per view, and I think Ilya turned it down. I'm reading between the lines, but that's my theory because Justin came out and he's like, "Who am I fighting next? I wanted to fight Ilya in January, but looks like he's not going to be fighting in January."
I see. Okay, okay.
So
I'm
it's like, I
following.
mean, okay, shit, makes sense
Yeah,
to me.
got you.
Um, we were talking about what Tom Aspinall and
Yeah, we're talking about the co-main now. Your
no,
favorite.
but before that, you just got done saying something.
Um, the Dana not being happy. I think I ended with that, and then just said, I'd love to see the rematch at Paramount Plus.
Right. Oh,
20.
oh, okay. Just to wrap up that thought. With that being said, I've also heard another one where they say, because I don't know if you considered this. So hear me out on this. This is like a free roll, right? Like they don't actually. The UFC has this bout now, this championship bout that like doesn't actually have to fill any spots. They already got their schedule planned out, right? This main event was supposed to be for this month. So they got the next 6 months planned out already. They want to run this back super quick. So it's like, hear me out. They could make it a 3 title fight in December.
In the year.
Yeah, for the last, because you're saying the first Paramount card, right? How about the last ESPN pay per view, right? Where they're actually getting pay per view points. They throw Aspinall Gone main event, Marab, Peter co-main, and then Pantoja, Joshua Van co-main. The
I mean, that would be epic.
and
That
then
would be epic.
you make up for the fans for this one where they got Mackenzie Dern and Vierna as basically the main event for this one. You kind
Yeah,
of make up for that.
yeah. No, I would. I mean, that would be epic. 3 titles.
Of epic proportions. That UFC what? UFC White what? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? 3 title fights in December? Shit, I'm not even worried about UFC White House.
yeah, yeah.
Just give me those 3 fights. I don't even need a card, bro. Give me those 3 fights. I'm good. On one night though. I would love that on one night.
To end the year too. I love when you end the year on something major.
And the pay-per-view era. Because
Mhm.
this
True,
is like an era, right? A
true,
time in history. It would be
true,
cool to see it like, you know what I mean? Capped
true.
off.
And they really don't have a. They could do that. They could do that. That'd be interesting if they set that up.
Yeah, because like I said, this is a free roll. You could put this on any of the next main events for the next 6 months. The problem is, bro, we could talk about Tom Aspinall all day. We haven't even gotten off this shit. The problem is that because here we go, right? When's Tom coming back? Can he return before the end of the year? I mean, he got no injury, right? There is no laceration. I accept the fact that you're not injured and all that stuff, and you still couldn't fight. I accept that fact. But come on, bro. If you can't return by December, I'm gonna start thinking you're milking something here.
Yeah, I mean, there's no
Unless
reason.
it comes out that you got a cut in your eye.
Yeah,
I
there's
need paperwork though.
yeah, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to. I mean, these guys.
But doesn't it sound like it with how they're fucking kind of like,
It's interesting because I was thinking about Dana being salty. Dana salty, dad boxing,
dad jujitsu coach too?
right? So the dad comes out that week,
Yeah.
or was released. Hey, I'd like my son to just get into boxing. Dana don't want to hear that, you know? And so then we get this result from the UFC's product, and I think that's another reason why he was a little bit salty too. So Tom, there's no reason to wait the 2 or 3 months. They're just not. I mean, you shit. Put this on the New York, the Madison Square Garden card.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, there's just they went one round each of them.
Yeah, no,
Like, line it the fuck back up, like immediately.
immediately. Okay, so we both agree then that they should.
Imagine if an organization did that. Like, hey, nah, they're gonna roll next weekend now.
I know that'd be too quick though.
Crazy would that be,
That'd
though?
be crazy.
That would be crazy.
In another sport, you might be able to, but I guess not with fighting. So we
Uh,
both agree that Tom should, right?
yes.
He should. Do you
Yeah.
think? I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit, and I'll tell you, I don't think he will. You think he
Do I
will or
think he
won't?
would?
You got to
Where
kind
do-
of read between what his father's been saying, what he's been saying.
I,
It's only a guess. It's an innocent guess. You know what I mean? It won't be held against you, but
I know, I get it. My gut says no.
unfortunately, and that sucks, dude, because we want us fans, we want that fucking 3 title fight. You know what I'm saying? In December.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about fighters. It's like it's been. You know what? That's why I respect the fighters that like they like have a great win in one round.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, I'll fight next month. Like, what are we waiting
Marab
for?
doing that off of a fucking 5-round decision, which is
But I guess that's my thing. It's like it's almost like an NFL player, bro, is playing 2 hours. They're going out next week.
yeah.
It's a physical game. Like, so I don't know. Like, there's something to be said. Like, why I don't understand why we have to wait more than 2 months. I
Yeah.
don't get it.
I think
I don't,
I think that Dana's gonna probably make some type of call here. He got to get those medical records, right? Because at the end of the day, he's paying for it. That injury happened in the octagon. He went to the hospital. He went and got some follow-up procedures. I think that if the Aspinalls want Dana to cover that, they got to send over the work.
Here's my thing.
And
Just
then if
as
the
a
work says no injury, it's like, all right, dude, then
Here,
November,
I'm
December.
gonna bring something up to you. Just as a competitor, let's take the UFC out of this shit. Someone the other day beat me in chess. Bro, I was livid.
Uh-huh.
I was like, Doc, I want a immediate rematch. I was like, oh, I gotta go, blah, blah, blah. Bro, I was hounding him
So yeah, I got you. I got you.
because I'm so competitive, bro. And it was chess.
It's like
It was,
losing in Madden, right? You guys end up
oh,
being there all
dude, like,
fucking
nah,
night.
we're running that bitch back, bro. I
10
don't give a
games
fuck.
fucking later.
Yes, dude, exactly. And so, like, that's what I'm wondering with some of these guys. Like, where is your competitive vein at?
It's the
Like,
fine
if I
line,
was-
right? You only hear about Aspinall and his father's concern for his health and well-being, right? You only hear about that, right? But yeah, I hear you. There's that line that they teeter because there's their health and their well-being, and then there's there's their competitive nature.
and let that have been Jordan, bro.
John
Nah.
Jones, did you see the clip of John Jones saying Aspinall tapped to a heel hook and John Jones would rather his arm get broken?
Yes. And some people are built different. Some people are built different. Let that be
Yeah.
Kobe. Let that be Tom Brady. Their drive was so immense of being a competitor.
Mm-hmm.
Like no one, the fact that someone even tried to beat them. Like if I was Tom Aspinall, like, bro, you blooded me up. Fuck that. I want to get back in there right fucking now.
Right.
I'd it would be like it's eating your skin.
And it's like he just props his dad up on the couch with a microphone and camera and has his dad speak for him.
Yeah.
I'd rather have heard from Tom there. You know what I mean? Like, stop
And-
having your daddy talk for you. You're the heavyweight fucking champion, dude. 265 plus pounds of pure fucking muscle. And your
Right.
daddy's on the couch talking for you.
And I guess like
You can't talk either. I know you can't fucking see. Put the eye patch on and get on there that fucking camera, bro.
Oh, bro, that's what I was gonna bring up.
Eye patch?
John Jones is a genius,
That's
bro.
right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Dude, he immediately switched that duck with the eye patch. I thought that was so fucking like that was crazy work, bro. Like to have the wherewithal to do that, to like it was brilliant. It was brilliant.
No, it was good. It was good. And the funny thing is that he hasn't mentioned Tom's name once. That was his response to Tom, the duck emoji or the eye patch emoji, and
Yeah.
then he responds to Pereira's call out.
Yeah.
Doesn't even go towards Aspinall. He just goes straight towards Pereira. You gotta love it.
I love that.
You gotta love it.
I loved it.
And they're all saying, "Oh, this is the guy that was supposed to be John." It's like, all right, we'll leave you alone. Should we read some chats and get into maybe like one more topic?
Yeah.
All right. The chat's been going crazy lately, so I realize I can't read them all anymore. But I'll just sift through some
It's
of
a
the
good
good
problem
ones.
to have.
Huh?
It's a good problem to have.
It's a good problem to have for sure. But I was reading so many last night, and I was replaying the stream last night, and I was like, oh, like I can't just read them all anymore. Like it's too
Bro,
many.
but the chat is part of the show. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you
Like
guys let me know. Did I?
it creates a life of its own. When you get to that point,
Yeah.
it does. Like pretty soon, you're gonna have to go on Twitch and have a voice read all the chat for you, and people just dropping
The
fucking things.
TTS.
And the English butler is just saying, "Jake, MTK's ice is at the door." Something stupid.
Yeah, all that shit. But when I was watching it last night, it just turned into like a full-on chat fucking stream while we were rewatching the Aspinall thing. So I don't know. I hope you guys didn't mind that, but you let me know. Was that too much? Should I only read out some of the good ones? You guys let me know in the chat. All right. But
But remember, we got to start putting polls up now. Remember, we wanted to start doing that.
that's right. So let me know a poll right now. Think of a poll. Let me read off like 5 chats, and then you tell me a poll.
Okay.
Chris goes 5 fucking years talking about Nick Diaz and the marijuana. Let's see here. Mark Hatch says, I would have just fouled, gone back to be TBH. Even if Tom got DQ'd, then fans would respect him more. Yeah, there is something to that, right? Like, fuck this guy. I'm going to poke him back. So, I know people are saying in the rematch, what happens if Ciryl Gane pokes him again? It's like, then poke his ass back, bro. This is a fucking fight between 2 men. Let's go Yuri Prohaska mode. You know?
Yeah.
It gets,
Dude,
it gets to a point.
I love Yuri too. Like, fuck it, bro. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm gonna go in there and keep fighting.
Yeah, because you know what? You're a fucking, like, think about it, right? If a little kid, I always kind of compare it to this in a way because it's easier to, but if a little kid pokes you in the eye, right? Not even a little kid, but a lesser man than you, right?
Sure, yeah.
Comes and pokes you in the eye. You're not gonna fucking turn around and fucking cower and run away. You're gonna be like, let me get that
hell
shit
no, you're
back.
gonna be hella mad.
So
You're gonna
Tom
be hella
Aspinall,
mad.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're
Ciryl
gonna be
gonna
hella
poke you in
mad.
the eye. You're fucking, like I said, 265 pure muscle, bro. Go poke his ass back, dude.
Yeah.
This ain't. Come on now. What are you doing?
You know what? And there's that vein, right? Like, I don't see that enough in the UFC where it's like, bro, like, I just want to beat you. I know I'm better than you.
It's
You-
a little bit
you-
more.
And
the
it's almost like
previous generation.
What Yuri did to Khalil.
Right.
Yuri said, "Fuck it."
You got guys like that up today as well, but a lot of it is from that previous generation, you know.
A lot of it is from this, like, I'm a professional, and I'm going to hide behind the shield almost. I don't know what it is.
I'll give you
but
an example. I mean, that's a
there's
fine
something-
example. I'm sure that is too, where it's like, you know, I think what you're maybe trying to say is like they're trying to look out for the longevity of their career versus just being a fighter in the moment. But another one for me is like, I told you in the past, right? I said a lot of times fighters just want to fight because it seems like the cool thing to do, right? It's a selfish endeavor for them. They don't actually and to that extent, I also mean they're not really fighters. They just want to tell their friends they're fighters. They want to be glorified as a tough guy because all men, right? Be honest, right? All men would love to be able to brag like that. You know, and there are fighters in the UFC today who aren't real fighters, right? It's more of a selfish endeavor for them. And it's more about they're just boosting their ego, right? So that's my other thing too. That would be my other explanation. Okay, let me read a couple more chats and then we'll put up the poll.
Yeah, you know what? I guess we can't do that. East Coast or West Coast? Let's do that.
East Coast or West Coast poll? Let's do a poll as far as like Tom Aspinall type thing.
Okay.
Is he coming back by December type shit? Like,
Here we go. December or January?
okay.
December 2026.
When is Tom going to return?
Scott MTK.
We'll go
Yeah, that's funny.
2025 December 2025, Jan 2026, or option 3, Feb 2026.
All right. I'm gonna get more active on the chat.
Okay, let me read some of them off to you. AP says Tom's eyeball got more clout than the Kardashians. That's a good one. That's a good one. Shout out AP. Gina says, "What now then? They are milking it. Oh, I see cows. Are they?" Ngannou took Gane to the 5th round. It worked. Yeah, yeah, he got that win in the 5th round. So let's see if Tom Aspinall can. Chris says fans were so upset they didn't get to see one of Tom's 60 seconds fights again. Tom, not a true hooligan, says Scott. AP says Dana's more happy about the rematch, more money. Heavyweight divisions lives to stay relevant. I bet you, that's a good point. I bet you Dana's kind of like on the back end. He's like, you know what? This ain't too bad.
I can spin this.
I can spin this.
In the heat of the moment, of course you're upset, right? Your product just got like. Okay, I didn't realize I needed to like move. I didn't realize I was like on the line. All right.
Oh no, yeah. Oh, you're on the far right side, so go more centered in your screen.
Chris, let's see here. Chris, AP, Mark, Gina. Let us know what city you guys are from. Scott, Mark.
Oh, Chris is saying Anderson Silva versus Chris Weidman on Netflix. Damn, bro. You hate to see it.
I don't need it. We don't need to see it.
No,
we already saw it. We saw the real thing.
We saw the real thing when they were in their 30s.
In their prime, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm actually sick of people grabbing former UFC fighters just because they want to like put on a show. Like, go find your own fucking athletes. Stop fucking grabbing from our pool. I'm fucking sick of it. You're pulling from our expired pool. Like, go find your own athletes. It's an expired pool.
It is. It is.
All
right.
Oh, football players get benched entire seasons. All right, we're almost done here. Jones was ready to let his arm get broken when he fought Vitor Belfort. Yes, Scott. Chris says, you ain't got to read them all. I got you, Chris. I got you.
Where's the other homies? Jew.
I know they're not in the chat yet. They come in later sometimes. Maybe they're at work or something.
That's fine. We got the new crew.
Yeah, we got Chris, we got Gina, Scott.
Always
in here.
See, we'll have the usual suspects, and then we'll have the new crew, and then we'll have like the usual suspects again. We'll have a new crew. You know what I mean?
The late night crew, something like that. The graveyard crew.
Graveyard shift.
Yeah.
Then you get the UK homies.
We're getting them all.
Yep.
So I guess the only other thing for the day kind of is Bryce Mitchell. Well, let's talk about two things. I'm not that educated in politics, but let's just dive into this one a little bit. You know what I mean? Why not? Why not? Maybe you can help me. Maybe you can't. I don't know. Bryce Mitchell, he went against Trump and shit like that.
Mm-hmm. He spoke out. Yeah.
Do you know a lot about politics? All I know about is like the Palestine thing.
Well, I mean, I know enough. Like, know in what aspect.
Okay. Do you think we should be funding Israel still, or do you think Israel is like using our dollars to go and keep fucking over Palestine and bombing their asses?
I mean, yeah, I would lean on like, nah, we shouldn't be like, involved.
We shouldn't be involved,
in my opinion.
But why? It seems like we are involved because it's good just to be in alliance with them in case the Middle East comes to attack the U.S. It would be like Israel would come and help us or something. Is that the idea behind it?
I think there's
like
a few
allies.
We're allies for sure.
And then we're religious allies, right? Because we would never be allies with a Muslim country. So we're willing to do business with Jews, but we're definitely not willing to do business with Muslims, right? As Americans.
Well, to an extent. I mean, I wouldn't go that far.
But do they, like, honestly though, like, I don't, like, do they do business with Muslim countries?
I mean, yeah, like Saudi Arabia. I mean, they do with some of these like kingdoms if they.
But you know how they're funding Ukraine too? The U.S. is funding Ukraine. That's like
Mhm.
another Christian nation, right? Or are they Muslim?
I don't know. That I don't know actually. I
Let me
won't. I
just
won't.
look it up real quick because I just want to be sure. Share your thoughts though. Let me know.
No, I would just say, we're talking about what Bryce Mitchell kind of speaking out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think even Sean's spoken out a little bit. I think, people get told one thing.
Ukraine Christian.
Yeah. I think people get told one thing of when he got elected of what he was running for, and then, after the fact, the agendas are switching and turning, and they're thinking like, hey, maybe this isn't the best vision for the United States of what they want to do, and so people's opinions change is what happened.
We got James in here telling us to stop talking about this. James, we're just gonna talk about it for a couple minutes, brother. Just relax, okay? Then we're gonna
Um,
get into Bryce Mitchell and his broken nose. But no, I mean, because on the merit of this side too, yeah, I know that Trump has kind of not been going with his policies and stuff like that he ran on, right?
right.
But at the same time, speaking about this like why we do business with Israel and stuff like that, it's like what Russia was attacking Ukraine, right? And Russia's Muslim, Ukraine Christian. So I think there's like I don't know, there's some religious shit involved that's getting exploited here. And like if you just fuck with people on a basis of religion, then you're gonna probably get like guys like Netanyahu exploiting that and be like, no, they're gonna fuck with us regardless. We could do whatever we want. Because it seems like that's kind of like on a base level what's happening.
Yeah, I guess, like, I would kind of go like what James is saying. Like, I honestly don't know too much, so I can't speak too much on it. You know what I mean? So, like, world politics might be a little bit above my pay grade.
It's a little bit
Uh,
above mine too. It's a little bit above mine too.
but I think just on Bryce though, and like even Sean Strickland, they're just not agreeing with how the policies are changing, and I
Mm-hmm.
think they're just trying to make a firmer stance. So I mean, hey, we have that right, right?
Definitely have
That's
that right.
that's why we're Americans, and so hey, you know my opinion on Bryce, like so.
What
I'll
do you think
follow.
about the broken nose?
I think it's more that's Bryce, right? He just reacts.
Mm-hmm.
He goes on social media. He says it. What's sadder is that he doesn't have any type of insurance plan to go and help him go and get that fixed and have to go pay a copay. It sounds like everything he needs to do is going to be out of pocket, and he doesn't have the money to do that. That to me, that's sad. Like
Yeah,
he
I
doesn't.
don't know if he doesn't have the
Yeah,
money or like, he's kind of a progressive. So maybe he thinks like insurance is a scam. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know either. Like, but he's making it sound like I'm gonna have to go pay out of pocket a couple thousand to go to the doctor, or in this case, probably was the emergency room. So, I mean, if he did look injured,
Do you think the UFC should cover that shit? Like him being uninsured, being a UFC fighter, like
I yeah, I think that you work for a company. It's like if you and I worked for a company and we got hurt and we're going to go to the emergency room, we're going to should have insurance covered by our employer. What's crazier about the United States is that any other country, talking about politics, any other country you can pretty much go to, it's free healthcare.
mm-hmm.
Now that's a whole nother conversation. In this instance, yeah, I do think the UFC should give their fighters a health plan.
Mm-hmm.
If he got injured, even if I'm right now, I get injured, I fall over, I have insurance. I can go to the emergency room,
Mm-hmm.
covered under my job. It wasn't on the job, but they're taking that out of my paycheck.
So it should be something where like when you sign to the UFC, they should offer you just like any job, right? You want to
Right.
opt in for this healthcare plan or something like that. It'll be like X amount taken out of your
Right.
whatever the case.
Right. Because
Here,
in this instance, he's like he's pleading for help. He's begging for help.
because he doesn't want to spend the money. But then somebody did it for him for free anyway, so he's fine now.
Yeah.
But here's the catch with the UFC, which is weird. I'll bring it to you because people oftentimes when they hear this the first time, they might be off put, but then as it marinates, you're like, damn, there's actually a point here. Um, so the UFC operates, they get their cake, you know what I mean, and they get to eat it too. They get both.
Right.
They operate on the side of, oh, this is the NFL, NBA type thing, so we're gonna do a uniform policy, no sponsorships. USADA drug testing 24/7, 365, right? So they do all this as far as like capturing and locking in the fighters in that aspect. But then they'll turn around and be like, oh no, you're like an independent contractor. right? We
Right.
don't got to give you insurance and like whatever else comes with being an independent contractor, I guess you could say. But well, I guess the other side that comes with it is they play that independent contractor side, which directly contradicts the uniform, right? USADA, right? No sponsorships. If you're an independent contractor, why are you getting all up in their business like that? You know what I mean? Because no sponsorships is for the company. So if they're taking a sacrifice for the company, right? Then I think they should be getting some of that bread that you guys are now getting from sponsorships inside the octagon. That
Yeah.
otherwise they would have been wearing on their fucking shorts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And look what happened with like the college football players. Like college football players finally were able to get some cash because of all the TV rights, because of all the sponsorship, because of all their endorsements. The fact that the UFC is so crazy,
They
bro.
play
Like
both sides. That's what I'm trying to say.
yeah,
Like they have all these things, but then whenever they'll turn around for this type of broken nose thing, and they'll say, "Oh, he's an independent contractor. That's not really something we cover."
yeah, that it to me, but it's sad that they put their fighters through that. Like they should be better than that.
Yeah, it is sad.
Yeah. And it's
So
sad that he has to go beg for it, put it out there, and because he has no real like he's hella ghetto. He has no what word do I want to use? I can't come to me right now, but like he basically he doesn't care what people think,
like
really.
no
So like
shame or something like that.
yeah, no shame. No
Except he
shame.
came back on. He's like, "I'm sorry, I look like a cheapskate."
Yeah, no shame. No shame. Because
No
like for me,
shame.
I'd be embarrassed to do something like that.
That's why he's so funny and viral though, bro. Because
He is.
he
Yeah,
has no
yeah.
shame. He just kind of
He
like,
wears his heart on his sleeve. Yeah, he
yeah,
wears it. Yeah, yeah. You gotta love him for that.
it's his golden ticket.
Yeah.
Let's see what they think about the Bryce Mitchell thing. It
I think
happened in training though. That's off the clock basically. But I mean, what happens if you get injured in an NBA practice?
but you at the facility, you have coaches there, you have a medical staff there on site.
Hmm.
I mean, that's at every arena.
And I guess what happens if you get injured in the UFC PI? They'll take care of that or something. I'm sure they would.
And the PI they do, right? So, but they're at a point like if you're a UFC fighter, you're signed to the organization. If you get injured at a gym that's not a UFC gym, you should be able to go to the emergency room and have that covered, and you pay a copay.
Hmm. I mean,
And that's
anybody would. Bryce just doesn't have insurance. I feel like some of that is on Bryce, right? He got to go get some insurance.
maybe Bryce was like, "Nah, I don't want the insurance. I don't trust the doctors." Now we don't know that. We don't know that part of the story.
Yeah, apparently UFC has a healthcare system though in place. There was an article in 2011 that people have been reposting where they said that the UFC does do something like this now, where fighters do get medical care for incidental injuries that are suffered in training. But then Sean Strickland kind of sparked the debate because Sean's like, I guess you gotta have a fight book though. If you don't have a fight booked and you suffered in training, you're on your own,
See, that's fucked up too.
right? Because
Yeah.
again, this is the thing. They control you 365 24/7 when you're getting drug tested. You're not on your own then. And you got to think about that a little bit more before you disagree with me or people out there. Think about that again. You can't have your cake and eat it too. If you're going to turn around and be like, "Oh, you don't got a fight book, we're not going to take care of you." Then they should turn around and be like, "Yeah, I don't got a fight booked, I'm not going to take a drug test."
Yeah.
But they can't do that. But that's the truth. Like, let's just be more, you know what I'm saying? Like, we need a
Just
collective bargaining or something. Like,
Yeah,
there's
just
so
let-
many fucking holes in the game because
There
the
is.
UFC makes all the rules. And
there's
there's
a-
nobody looking out for the fighters, right? So the UFC is always going to choose the rule that leans in their favor. And when you do that time and time again, there's inconsistencies. And that's why we always point out, that's not in favor of the fighters. That's not in favor of the fighters. That's not in favor of the fighters. Well, then who else is it in favor of?
And there's no like fighters union to go and like protect them either. So
No, and they're so individual, though. Like, look at everybody going against Tom Aspinall.
Mhm.
They're so individual, it's never going to happen. They're never going to collectively bargain, these guys. They all think something different anyway. They're all, like, trust me, bro. You see
Yeah.
how it's going.
Everybody does have a different opinion on the matter.
They can never, like, imagine if this simple topic right here, eye pokes and penalties, right? I mean, the fighters, I don't know what their deal is, but they're not even, as fighters, right? They're more focused on the fact that Tom Aspinall was getting his ass beat and may have looked for a way out than they are for their own best interest as far as the rules. We are more concerned about the rules for the fighters than the fighters are for themselves. Did Dustin Poirier, let me ask you, let me go down the box. Did Dustin Poirier say anything about changing the rules?
Nope.
With his nice new shiny teeth, no?
It
How about Aljamain Sterling?
looks a little like.
Hey, they're still trying to get those things to fit in his mouth. It's all good. How about Aljamain Sterling? Aljamain Sterling dropped a whole podcast, but
Yeah.
all I saw was his clip on Instagram. Did he happen to say anything about the rules by chance and how, because that would directly affect him. He's another fighter who could step in there and his opponent could eye poke him in the future too. You know what I mean? He's not exempt from this.
Wasn't Aljo the guy that hurt his knee and
And he couldn't continue against Peter Yan and he became the UFC champion, that guy?
Right.
You're talking about a little pot meets kettle moment?
Right. It's not even. Just forget about that.
Yeah. Forget about that. But you know what I mean? Who else is out here talking about Tom Aspinall's decision? Everybody who made these statements, the only person who's talking about rule changes is Bisping and Jim Miller.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else really is.
Because they don't want to press the UFC.
Yeah, and again though, but if you're a fighter, you want to look out for your best interest or the UFC's best interest. And it's a 50-50. Some fighters look out for theirs, but there's a fucking huge pool that looks out for the UFC's best interest. And so, like I said, bro, these fighters are more concerned about Tom Aspinall potentially quitting the fight, right, than they are about changing the rules. I think that's crazy. That these fighters aren't concerned. They're missing the point. They're completely missing the mark.
Right.
They shouldn't even be putting out videos unless it's about changing the rules. Honestly, if you want to make a real change in the sport, you giving your opinion about whether or not Tom Aspinall quit, you know what I'm saying? That does nothing for the sport, does nothing for anybody, even for yourself.
And it's so interesting too. Is like, it was a year ago when a year ago before John Jones fought Stipe, they had the other gloves. Mm-hmm. John Jones comes in and John Jones doesn't want those gloves, so it's like, you know what? Let's just scrap the whole glove thing.
That was a conspiracy, right?
Right, and it's so crazy where we're at a year later, still have grabbing the fence, still have the eye poke, still have the nut shot, still have
glove grabbing,
the refs, making decisions in there that are mistakes, live on the spot, healthcare. I think we could name those are the top 5 right there.
Yeah, but again, if they don't care about their well-being, there's only so much we can do.
A fighter, yeah.
There's only so much we can do. They're the ones who really should be speaking up about it, like Jim Miller.
It's crazy, and so it's crazy because like all of them are like dancing on eggshells. Unless you get to the premier level of like an Ilya, where you don't got to answer on eggshells anymore, right? Mm-hmm. All the other tier guys are like, oh, whatever you want, UFC.
But don't the UFC got freedom of speech?
They do. But I don't know what it is, dude. I don't know what it is. Is like these guys are just so scared to buck the system. Like, we need an outlier.
Yeah.
We need a guy that
go in. Do you think that maybe they're not scared to buck the system, but they're naive? They're completely just missing the mark? It's right in their face and they're just like naively missing the mark? Or do you think they see it directly in their face and they're choosing to sidestep it?
I think there's probably both sides of that.
Okay.
Both sides. When I think there's some that see it like, oh, I guess I'm just not going to say anything. I want to still fight. I want to be in the UFC. I want to make money. I want to become champion. I bet there's other guys like, I don't know, whatever.
Dustin Poirier, high as fuck on the laughing gas, definitely was not thinking too hard about that one, but it's all good.
Bryce Mitchell, I'd love to know what his opinion is on the matter.
No, seriously, because especially Bryce Mitchell, right? He's all about legislation. He's all about rules. But let's see if you can do that with the UFC too.
I'm also interested now thinking about it. Like, are these fighters' kids covered under insurance, or do they have to rely on their spouse's insurance?
Is you talking about a family health care plan?
Right.
I'm gonna say probably not. I'm
gonna say probably not either. That's sad, dude. Like, you working for $1 billion company,
mm-hmm.
putting your life on the line, and you can't even cover your kids' health care. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
That is crazy. One of the biggest MMA organization in the world.
Because anything could happen to these fighters too. You know what I mean? And so it would be nice to have their family getting some coverage because anything could happen to these fighters to where they're out
Why
of work.
why are they going in the ring? For their family. To
Hmm.
help support their family. I guess the other sell of it is like you'll make so much money in UFC that you won't even need to care about the cost for healthcare. But that's not 90% of the fighters.
That is. All right, let's read some chats. And I think, how long have we been going for? Let me see here. An hour 7 minutes. Let's read some chats, and then if there's any more topics, we can get into it. But today's kind of a slow news day. Ain't nothing to really post about, so we can just kind of, leave it
Are you
alone.
excited for the fights this weekend or no?
Let's talk about those. After I read that, let's talk about the fights this weekend. Um, there's not much. Mark goes, is Perry Filipino? No, I'm not Filipino, Mark. I'm not Filipino.
He's half Hawaiian, right?
Yeah, my parents are fucking from the Pacific Islands. My mom's from Hawaii, and my dad's from Guam. So I'm like both of those, but then I got some white in me too. I got like a bunch of stuff. Should I just say it real quick?
Sure.
All right, Hawaiian, Chinese, Portuguese, German, Guamanian. There you go.
That's a real American right there.
That's like a real Hawaiian. Like, people in Hawaii are all like 5 different races,
All right.
and then my dad is like 100% Guamanian. But yeah,
Got you.
what up, Jew? What up?
Oh, there we go. We were just talking about Jew.
Yeah, welcome back, Jew. I told you, Jew's a little bit more of a late night viewer.
Usual suspects in the building.
The usual. Let me see. James says no healthcare association. James shouted out your YouTube channel. He goes, I subscribe to West Coast Radio. Everyone should subscribe to West Coast Radio. Shout out West Coast Radio.
Okay,
Everybody
okay,
go subscribe. Everybody go subscribe to the MMA homies. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
That's MTK's operation over there.
What's up? We see you, James.
Somebody goes, oh, Matt Brown also speaking about the rules. Thanks, Chris, for that. Thank you.
Oh yeah,
No
that's
Players
right.
Union, UFC don't
Brown
care. So
did
there are
speak
some
out.
fighters, but there's not enough, And
But there's
look,
not enough in the UFC right now. You
speaking
can
about
be
it,
outside of the UFC and say whatever the fuck you want.
right? But that makes
You know
your
what?
point. That makes your point.
And not only that, you need someone like a GSP, a Habib to step out and really say something.
Yeah. No, that makes your point. Gina says yes, they need to look after themselves more. Yeah, they do. Nobody else is gonna look at you but yourself. What are the refs' incentives not to call fouls? Give points and disqualifying cheaters. I don't know. Refs' incentive to not call fouls beats me. It beats me, Chris.
Me too.
Uh,
But I like the idea of like, hey, when you step into the ring, we are aware of your past grievances. We are aware of how many eye pokes you've had. We are aware of how many nut shots you've had. We are aware of how many grabbing the fences. If in your last fight you grab the fence more than 2 times, we are watching out for you.
mm-hmm. Well,
There
there
are
should even be
sometimes
stuff where like after the fight concludes, you know how that happens in the NFL? A game ends or something like that, but a fighter commits like a spear on one of the plays, and then after the game, that fighter gets a suspension and gets fined. So like, not only are you like the way you're saying it should be remembered, the way it should be remembered is through the work, through the paperwork. You know what I mean? There should be paperwork on this shit. Like, because you're talking about remembered, right? Yeah, great. Your memory might be fine, bro. But I want the work on this. I want this shit to be documented.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a big difference between remembering and then documenting that shit. So yeah, we should, after a fight, come here. You poke this dude in the eye, all right? And you've been done this before. Come sign this paper right here. You're not going to fight for 18 months, all right? And $150,000 fine. You are playing with these dudes' lives, bro. This ain't no fucking joke. And the fact that it is getting away with this for so long is retarded. You should get fined $150,000 for trying to take a dude's fucking vision. I'm not gonna say you just poked him. I'm gonna start saying you tried to take his vision.
Here's a good example. It's almost like, hey, you're on probation, but you never have to see your probation officer and you never have to go in and check in, so you're still out robbing people.
Right. You're just serving the time. As long as you don't get arrested again,
I'm
you're
on
fine.
probation.
As long as you don't get arrested, there ain't no checkups, right?
Right.
Yeah, facts. Drew goes, McDonald's offers healthcare for workers.
Even Mickey D's got fucking healthcare, bro.
All these basic ass jobs do, but UFC don't. I think
And the
they
whole,
do. I think UFC does, right? Because I said they offered some kind of insurance. If you got a fight booked, you can get
but
medical
I don't
coverage
like that either. I don't like the fact that if you have if you have a 4-fight contract, you are covered
on their policy.
for fights. Or
Okay.
if they cut you, then you're done.
Yeah. Mark Hatch goes, it must be quite demoralizing for UFC fighters to see Dana gamble millions away and they get a 50K bonus if they're lucky. LOL. Yeah, yeah.
That's a whole nother
A
conversation.
whole nother convo.
Don't even get us started on the. This has become like a hate UFC fucking rant.
But you know what? It wouldn't
Look
have to
at-
be this way if they would keep more consistency. You know, we
Look
don't.
at-
This isn't the way we want to come on here. We don't
need to-
agree upon this.
I need to say an asterisk here. Look at, I'm a huge UFC fan. Jacob knows this. You put on boxing, I ain't fucking with it.
Mm-hmm.
You put on Bellator, I ain't fucking with it. You put on anything else outside of the UFC, I'm not watching it.
Mm-hmm.
They got me.
They got you complaining, unfortunately, though.
Yeah, they got me complaining, but I'm like so sucked in.
Yeah. No, but it's
Like,
like it's like you love it, but you got to keep it
Oh,
a
I
buck.
love it.
And I love it
love
too, bro. You think I do this every day because I hate the UFC? You know what I mean? Like, come on now. Come on now. I love this shit too.
It's the greatest gladiator sport out there. It really is. Like, I was trying to talk to some guys at work, and I'm like, I love the UFC more than everybody in here.
Mhm.
All right, cool.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
with
Everywhere I go, I'm like my knowledge is like fucking times 10 what everybody else's is.
that. We love the UFC so much that we just want to let's make the UFC better again.
That's all we want. We're looking out for fighters and their best interests. We care about the fighters. We care about the UFC. The thing I think where we kind of why we disagree a lot is because the thing we don't really care that much about. I mean, we care about it, but on a fine line, like we don't care about the UFC's pockets as much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They're too big.
Like we care more about what's right by the fighters and what's right
Yeah.
by the promotion, and let's just leave it at that. Like the money that falls in the middle, you know, we might debate who's a bigger star here and there, who might deserve a bigger opportunity, but that's as far as I really like to discuss the finances. When it comes to like, oh, like don't change the rule set because that's gonna affect the finances of the UFC. I'm like, nah, change the
Yeah.
fucking rule set. That's
No,
that's
let's
just a byproduct of what should have been done years ago.
Yeah,
know
let's
what I
get
mean?
into their pockets for sure. Like, we need to get deeper in their pockets.
Yeah, and stop fucking like, I don't know,
Nickel and diamond shit.
nickel and diamond. Yeah, it's a good word for it. Cause that rule system is just so cheap, bro. Fix that shit. I don't even think you need money, right?
Yeah.
They just got to, I don't know, maybe they got pay some lawyer fees, submit some legislation, and say, hey, get rid of intentional, unintentional, and make it a DQ, and do instant replay. Like, just do a little quick, you know, letter
just
from
gonna
the
say-
lawyer, and let's
just
get that shit
recap.
appealed.
Let me just kind of give my quick recap here. Mackenzie Dern, actually, I gained a lot of respect from her after that fight. I thought Verna was going to get it, and Mackenzie Dern showed me she had a little bit of dog in her.
Okay.
She never quit. Umar Nurmagomedov versus Mauro Batista. Mauro Batista did the same thing for me. I didn't expect for Mauro Batista to keep trying to fight back and get back up, and he did to the very end of that third.
Can I pause you real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. So we do see that one different.
Oh.
Yeah, we
oh.
do see that one different.
Okay.
So literally, right?
Ding, ding, ding.
I'm a little bit disappointed in Mario.
Really?
Usually you're the one who's disappointed, right? And I'm like, yo, you should be nicer to these guys.
Yeah.
Right. So now I'm disappointed in Mario, and this is my reason why.
Why?
Mario is the best guy at his gym. Like, he's
Okay.
the best guy at his gym, aside from Jared Cannonier. It's Mario Bautista. You know?
In Phoenix?
Huh?
Phoenix?
Phoenix.
Yeah.
And, like, the fact that Umar was taking him down that easily and passing his guard and shit like that, now that is more of a fine, like, I'm more
The
picking in
technical
the
side of
weeds.
it. Yeah, the technical side of it.
The
Yeah.
more technical side of it. But let me say this, all right? I don't think Mario's team is like, yo, we're proud of that performance. I feel like
Okay.
Mario's team is like, yo, that was a winnable fight, man. Like, we should have won that shit. Like, he shouldn't have taken you down. It is what it is, but, like, we got to fix that. And, like, because I think, and I don't mean to pick apart your point, but I've been hearing other people say, he got up every time. He got up every time. And for me, I'm like, dude, you shouldn't have even been taken down that many times. let alone that easily a few times, because you're the best guy in your gym. If he wasn't the best guy in his gym, I might give him that benefit of the doubt and be like, it was a good performance. But you're the best guy in your gym, bro. I gotta hold you to a higher standard. Because when you're the best guy in the gym, right? That means 99% of the guys in the gym aren't passing his guard. 99% of the guys in the gym aren't taking him down. He's the best in the gym.
Right.
So when you go into the octagon and you're going against Umar and now you're just getting your guard passed 20 seconds after getting taken down, I'm like, dude, like, I know you're better than that. Or at least you kind of should be.
Well, okay, so this is what I'm hearing from what you're saying. If you are the best in your gym, you're not competing against guys better than you.
Yeah, because you are the best.
Right. And so now that you went into the ring, in the octagon, and you face somebody almost 10 times better at you at that skill, right? And he proved it to you. You know, I guess I was more impressed the fact that before, when I saw Mario Batista fight, I was like, it was okay. It was all right. You know what I mean? Like, I expected more. This time I was like, at least you fought back. But with what you're saying, it's almost like you need tougher competition. It's almost like I'm playing someone in Madden and I beat him every time, and then now I go play some other guy and this dude beats me, but it's because I haven't been playing really good guys.
And it's like, I thought you were good, right? I expected you to do better against this new dude.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And we know, and this guy's been winning Madden championships, and this guy, you know what I mean? Like, there's something to be said. Like, sometimes you need to get outside your own circle. And raise your level of guys that you're competing against when you're training.
Like, bring in some guys now, because it's clear.
Or
right?
go to another gym.
Yeah.
Right? Go, like, if I was a competitor like that and I knew I was the best here at my gym, all right, cool. I got nothing else to prove. Well, who else? Who else wants this?
We got to find the harder competition eventually, I think.
You have to. If you want to get and Umar showed him there's another level.
Yeah. And so
Merab has showed Umar there's another level. This is the 3-tier fucking level right now, and he's still at number 3.
Yeah, and so what's also crazy, speaking about levels, is like, you know, this, like, the difference between Umar and Merab and the rest of the division is crazy. You know, because we were talking about Mario as if like this might be the guy to get to fight Merab next. That's why he got to fight Umar, right? And then you see what happened with the next best guy in the division in Mario. See, not only is Mario the best guy in his gym, right? He's the next best guy in the division, right? In the whole world rankings, right? The top 15 of the UFC bantamweight division.
Rob, Sean, Corey, Umar.
Right?
Umar probably went up now. Then you got Mario right there.
And I'm almost not including Sean and Corey because they recently lost. You know what I mean? So it's like Mario's that next guy up.
Against Merab.
Against Merab. You know, and he got washed against Merab. Another one of those where, yes, he got up every time and he didn't quit, but Merab had his way with him. You know? And so it just shows Merab and Umar and then are like 3 levels ahead of the whole rest of the division. And it's crazy because we were talking about Mario like, oh shit, this could be competition for Merab. I'm glad that he got thrown Umar first and we got to see, oh, Mario versus Merab would have been nothing.
Yeah.
Because if Umar did that to Mario, imagine what Merab's going to do to Mario.
Oh, yeah. It's over.
Yeah. So
it's over.
I think
and that's why I'm interested. This is off topic, but I'd love to see Merab versus Volk, or I'd love to see Pantoja versus Merab.
Oh, it's getting there, right? It's getting to a point we got to see a super fight between one of those 3 weight classes eventually.
Yeah, we're right around the corner from that.
Maybe Merab maybe Merab being the main event to Pantoja in December. Set that up.
Love that. I would love that. I would love that. Volkov versus Almeida, was not impressed with that fight at all, with either one of them.
Yeah.
That's where the heavyweight division is. It's like, honestly, Volkov should be glad he even sneaked out that win. I don't even know if he deserved it. I don't know if Almeida deserved it either.
I know, right? That's funny. I kind of agree, though.
Like, I thought at the beginning, Almeida did enough to win it, but I was like, all right.
But then in hindsight, it's like,
But yeah, I mean, like, we go back to that one time that you and I watched the fight together. Like, if you're just going to hold them and not do anything, like, where is your ground and pound? Like, can we see a little bit of it? Like,
It's
do you
like they're
not
so scared of getting of
do
the
you not like
opponent.
you not practice that at the gym? Like, what is it? Just you just take them down? That's it?
I know. No, I think it's the fact that they're so scared to open up with punches because they think their opponent's gonna stand back up. You feel me? So they'd almost rather just lay on top. It sucks. It's boring as hell to watch.
And
But
here's
yeah.
the thing: on Volkov's side, you got taken down so easy every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, bro, did you not practice any takedown defense?
And so what's Tom Aspinall gonna do to him again?
It was I was like, I don't know. The Nasrat fight. I thought Nasrat was gonna get that. Quaylen,
Yeah,
that may
I
be the
low key was kind of like looking at that one like, okay, this is a good matchup. I really like that matchup. I do. I do.
dude. Because look at Nasrat beat Ribovics. Ribovics beat Selhuber. So then when I thought Nasrat beat Ribovics, I was like, oh shit, Nasrat got a dog in him too.
No, he
And
does,
then
and he does. He does.
he does.
No, he does. Yeah.
He got caught.
He got caught.
That could be the knockout of the year.
Oh yeah,
That
or at
he
least
was
in the running.
crazy.
And I just want to say real quick, I love fights like that where like he's a prospect, right? And he's a slight underdog. Salkild was a slight underdog, right? But he's a prospect. And then he's getting a tough opponent who gets wins over, like you said, you just name the guys he gets wins over. So these are the fights that I really like because that proved a lot to me for Salkild.
Oh yeah.
But if they just threw up a fucking gimme fight for Salkild and he knocked him out with that same head kick, I would not be as impressed. I'm impressed with Salkild because of who he landed the head kick on.
Yeah. 100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
100%.
And it's interesting too because if you guys really think about it, if you guys don't know that are in the chat, Zellhuber and Ribovics, that was UFC Noche last year. I mean, they put them on the map. They had a dog fight. And Zellhuber, I think at the time was like 15-2. Ribovics was like 13-1. So they had they were high prospects. High prospects. So Zellhuber loses. Ribovics gets pushed up. Ribovics fights Nasrat, and Nasrat beats Ribovics.
Mm-hmm.
So like that just put him up on the map. And Joey Alvarez was in that whole mix, but Joey Alvarez was going through people.
Yeah.
And
Now he's up at 170.
Now he's at 170. So like, and he just beat Vicente, which was a good win. I wish but he didn't get it in that devastating fashion like he was doing everybody else.
Right.
But he did kind of he did almost beat him in that first round, right? Something had happened with the ref in that fight too.
Him and Vicente was a decent fight.
Right,
I don't have it off the top of my head right now, but I remember it was a good fight.
Vicente's an OG.
He just got Vicente to quit though.
He did beat him. He earned his.
I think it was like first round. Either of his
He caught him
it was
in the
back
ref.
and forth, right? One of them won one round each. I don't know how to put it. I think Joel Alvarez hurt Vicente really bad in round one, if I'm not mistaken. Right. Vicente came back and almost won the round though, and then in round two, Vicente pulled guard and got his ass beat all round, and in round three, Vicente got finished.
Yeah.
But sticking on Salkild,
huh?
It was a finish. It was a finish. Yeah. It was Joaquin Buckley replay. You know how Buckley finished Vicente last year? Same thing happened to Vicente. He pulled guard and he just got beat up in the guard. But real quick, staying on the topic, Salkild, okay, you just named all those names that Nasrat has fought and beat, right?
Right.
That brings Salkild into that conversation of the names you just mentioned. However, there's a name that's been on the tip of Salkild's tongue that you haven't mentioned, which is a step above everybody you just mentioned. The money man himself, Renato Moicano. Do you want to see that? Is that too big of a step up? I put somebody else in the poll, but tell me, is that too big of a step up or what?
I don't think Moicano's. It is a big step up. Like that surpasses Grant Dawson.
Because people are saying him BSD, okay?
Yeah, he.
Or Mauricio Ruffy. They're saying Moicano, BSD, or Ruffy. So what do you think?
And just a step back, the Joel Alvarez was a decision unanimous though.
Oh my bad. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so you got Grant Dawson, Mauricio Ruffy would be. I like that, and I like the Grant Dawson,
Ruffy, or Moicano.
See, I think BSD is too much. He's gone through some fire. And he showed Mauricio Ruffy, hey, there's another level.
Ruffy's a good matchup.
Ruffy is a good matchup because he's dynamic, and
Hmm.
I think BSD just showed him, hey, there's another level here.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, wait, because remember when BSD got knocked out by Dustin Poirier, they were putting BSD like he's about to be the next champion.
They were, oh yeah, they were before he got knocked out by Poirier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I think if he were smart, the call out would have been Mauricio Ruffy because that's something you could really probably put together.
Okay.
And Mauricio Ruffy's not going to run that. Moicano's at a place like, nah, I don't need to go do that.
Like you're too new for me, bro. I'm like 15
I
fights
mean,
into the
honestly, he
promotion.
doesn't. He doesn't need to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was just a year removed from fucking fighting for the champion for the belt, even though he got put in that position because Armin got out, but he still was in there.
No, I feel you. I feel you. I think Ruffy probably the best one, or even fuck, give him a Grant Dawson or something like that. But I'd like to see because he got that head kick, but that head kick KO.
It
Put him
was
up
sick.
against a striker like Ruffy. Why put him up against a
Yeah,
wrestler? You know?
no, that would be. Then we get to see who really is. Because
Yeah.
then if he beats Mauricio, but if Mauricio puts him back in check, like nah,
Right.
then
Then Mauricio. Okay, let's see. You know,
yeah,
we're back in the ball game as
right,
Mauricio.
right.
Mauricio versus Salkild. Let's run it, boys. Let's run it. And you know, Salkild calling out Moicano. So you know, um, whoever I just said is a step below Moicano, so he should be more than willing to take that fight too.
Yeah.
Ruffy.
The
If
other
he's
thing
willing
I
to
was,
fight Moicano, he should be more than willing to fight Ruffy. That's what I'm trying to say.
oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
They come from the same camp, I believe.
Yeah.
Um, the other fight, real quick, just I was gonna say, who was that? Who was it? Oh, the Rebecca fight. Dude's a dog, bro. Even though he lost, he's a dog.
Hmm.
Uh, versus Klein. Klein looked good, and Rebecca just fucking would not give up. That Klein that I saw, I wish I would have saw that versus Gamrat.
Mm.
Walter did his thing.
Klein did look
And
pretty good, didn't he?
he did look good.
Yeah. Except for that third round where he, I guess, broke his ankle or something, and he was getting his ass
But,
beat.
but Rebecca is a dog though, bro. He had no quit in
Yeah, yeah,
him.
yeah. Typical Rebecca fight.
Yeah. The Jose Miguel Delgado, the dude's really good. He's another good
Did he
class.
get robbed? You think?
It was close. You know what? Low key, I think he did get robbed.
Because I
But
don't know if I get biased because I know the guy, so I overcompensate. But
I know.
I did score it for Nathaniel Wood, to be honest with you.
I scored it for Delgado.
Okay.
I thought Delgado did enough in the first and second to get that win. Nathaniel Wood showed that veteran, and I think Delgado can learn from this.
Oh,
Like
I
really,
think Delgado's upside is huge. I'm not even tripping on the loss. What I saw in that fight is this dude's going to be winning in the UFC for a long time.
look.
He looked really
He
good,
looked-
man.
No, because he had moments in there too. I thought he could have maybe finished Wood, and so I was like, all right, cool. You're being like you're not,
He should have
going.
went choke in the first
Right.
round when he dropped him. I wish he would have at least attempted it.
Yeah, so I mean, I think there's a lot of learning lessons from that, but I think that we watch out for that kid. Watch out.
Watch out for him.
Yeah, he is good. I think sometimes you need a loss like that to be like, okay, all right. There's another that's a prime example. There's another level. There's these gritty veterans that I gotta really I can never let off the gas.
Right, because you got to give Nathaniel Wood credit for that. He's a grimy veteran. Hey, get more in the center, because I'm noticing you're more. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, Nathaniel's a grimy veteran, and I can't. I couldn't say it better. So I'll just go ahead and second what you said there. You know what I mean? It's a loss, but at the end of the day, maybe a blessing in disguise. He's able to take some learning lessons from this, moving into the next fight. And again, it was against a grimy, gritty veteran. You know what I mean? Guys like Nathaniel Wood have been in the UFC for a long time. So there's, I think big upside for Jose Delgado.
You look back and I was like, oh, it's one of those like, fuck, I had him. I had him though.
If I would have
had
just done this, if I would have just done that,
Like,
I could have maybe
honestly,
got the win,
as a competitor, that would eat me and be like, I want to get back in there.
Mhm.
I want to get back in there. I know what I could do.
No, right, because that's way different of a loss than getting your ass beat for 3 rounds, unanimous decision as a young athlete. For him, it's like I lost that, whatever the case. Maybe I feel like I won it, but I was competitive. I was
Yeah.
competitive against one of the, more well-rounded guys in the division, right? And I think moving forward, he should take that as like a cosign. Like, I can hang. Let me just put in a little bit more work, take some time, and I'm going to hang with these boys. You know what I mean? I'm only getting better. You know what I mean? I'm still young. I'm only getting better. Watch me close that gap.
Watch me finish.
And it's
these
not a
guys.
big gap. It's not a big gap at all. Shout out Jose Delgado if he tunes into the podcast, because sometimes he does. Shout out Jose. You know what I mean? We ain't tripping on the loss, brother. We ain't tripping on the loss.
Got 5 minutes.
Okay. No, I mean, we're pretty much done. We're just chopping it up. I can read some chats and then we can get out here. We went an hour 40, so I appreciate you for the time, MTK. Mm-hmm. They say you're from Cali. That makes you part Mexican by association. I guess so, Chris.
No, he's from SoCal.
A lot of times people, when they hear my last name, they instantly are like, yo, what the fuck are you, though? Because my last name's Castro. That's why I think somebody asked me if I'm Filipino, because Filipinos have, like, Hispanic last names, too. Or, like, Spanish last names. It must be demoralizing. Oh, no, we read that one. There's been fighters who had to throw fights injured just to get medical care covered. That's from Jude. That's true. Some fighters will go into a fight injured to parlay, right? Afterwards, they'll be like, all right, so in the fight I suffered like a broken orbital, but I also suffered a broken arm. But low-key, that arm was broken training. But they can't claim it before the fight. They got to claim it happened during the fight.
That's crazy, too.
That's a disgusting fucking business
whole
tactic.
Nother thing.
Whole nother thing.
I mean, it's almost one of those things where it's like, you're putting the fighters in those positions that have to make decisions like that.
And you shouldn't, dude. But that's because they're always looking out for their best interest, their bottom dollar. And that's when it gets exploited. They should fall more in the middle, dude. And, like, be more like, all right, this is our best interest. This is the fighter's best interest. Let's meet in the middle. Right? But they don't do that. Or at least change it. Once you start to catch wind, we got Jew commenting this. This is public information, Once you catch wind that fighters are going into fights injured and parlaying their injuries, you know what I mean, to get it all covered under the UFC's insurance, then fix it. It's been exploited. Just fix it then. Like, why do you guys act like you don't hear it, act like you don't know about it? Don't draw any attention to it. Just fix that shit. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just a good guy, I guess. Like, I'm not trying to fuck people over. But, like, UFC, like, I know you're a business, but have a little bit of heart.
What about the polls? Do we have any poll results?
We can end the poll. It looks like February 26th is what they ended on.
Yeah, probably. It's probably more realistic.
Everybody, like, I'll read out a couple more comments, but submit your pick in the poll and then I'll end it.
Shout out to all the homies in the chat.
Yeah, shout out to Chris, Gina, Mark, Jew, James, Scott, Mark Hatch. You know the deal. Shout out to everybody.
What do we call the homies in the chat? The Perry Punchers?
We'll call them the regular suspects for now. I like that. Yeah. The usual suspects. I watched. Oh no, they're just chatting amongst each other. All right,
and they're like, hey, we're having a side conversation. You guys keep talking. We're
like talking. You got like Gina recommending like fights to Chris and shit like that. So they're just chatting amongst each other.
If you guys really want to chat up with us too, man, make sure to chat with us on Twitter. We're always active on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Tap in on Twitter. Tap in the comments on the videos that we clip up from this podcast. MTK will see it. I'll see it. We'll comment back to you on the videos. So,
shout out to James. We appreciate your support, West Coast Radio, homie.
Yeah, shout out James. And yeah, that's the podcast, everybody. Anything else?
We may be getting a new studio.
Say that again. You might be.
Yeah, we're gonna go look at it next week. I'm still gonna keep this one, but it's gonna replace our second studio, and I'm partnering with this other guy here in the city. And so we're gonna go look at it. It's pretty big too, actually.
Oh hell yeah! All right.
Yeah, it's like 2 rooms. We're gonna have like 3 podcast tables set up. I'm gonna have like the whole UFC one of mine just like set up just for UFC stuff. So it's pretty cool actually. We're gonna go see it next week.
Hell yeah. If I'm ever in SD, once you get that, I'll go stop by and check it out. All right, boys. Shout out to everybody once again who tuned in. All right. Appreciate all you loyal viewers.
You, Chris, Mike. Next time I'm gonna know what city you guys are all from. I'll give a shout out to everybody's city. And we'll get Saturday next time.
Yeah, Saturday next week. So we're gonna do a 3-man show next week. It should be good vibes. It should be some good vibes. Everybody tune in next week. And then I will see everybody live tomorrow, 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Pacific time. All right. Peace out, everybody.